So you also have the possibility to define multi-region access points on Amazon S3. The idea is that with this access point, you have a global endpoint that will span multiple S3 buckets in multiple regions. And the idea is that you access it only through one endpoint, and this endpoint will redirect you to the S3 bucket that makes sense in the region that makes sense. So it's going to dynamically request to the nearest S3 bucket, therefore providing you the lowest latency. And to make sure that, well, the data in all the S3 buckets are equal, you have bidirectional replication. So the data is replicated from one bucket to the next and vice versa. This way, all your regions are synchronized. And we'll see as well, we have failover controls. So it's possible for us to define all buckets are active or to have some buckets as a backup, so as a passive, so that when we fail over, if there's a region problem, then we can fail over to the passive buckets. So let's have a look at, for example, an example with three regions. We have US East 1, EU West 1, and AP Southeast 1 with the same S3 bucket that's going to be replicated across all regions. So automatically, these rules are created by Amazon S3 for you. So you just have to say it. But then all the data within these buckets is going to be replicated no matter what. And as you can see, we must have replication rules across all buckets to one another. Then we create this S3 multi-region access point. And then when our application is going to request an S3 bucket object, then we're going to be routed automatically to the region with the lowest latency. And in case this region is down, then we may be redirected into the other regions. So then we have the failover controls I told you about for your S3 access points. So let's take an example of a bucket that's replicated across two regions, okay? And we have a multi-region access point. Now, in the case of an active passive failover control, we're going to designate one bucket as active and the other one as passive. Therefore, whenever we request an object, we're not going to go this time to the lowest latency, which is going to go to the one that's active. And of course, if you have multiple active ones, you will have the lowest latency. And in case you will have a regional traffic disruption, for example, US East 1 is experiencing a bad outage, then automatically you're going to have a failover initiated and your request will go to the passive S3 bucket, which no matter what will contain all your data. And these kind of failover controls are valid for active passive type of setups, but also active active. This is when you can write to multiple regions at a time. All right, that's it for this lecture. I hope you liked it, and I will see you in the next lecture.